Okay, let's do a little reading about what's coming in love and money for you. Pile 1 is the pig spirit. Pile 2 is the otter spirit. And Venus is now in Libra again. So I haven't looked at these cards. We have 7-7, heal abandonment, time to forgive. And 3-3, Merkaba activation. So ground, shield, and protect. 3-7-4-7. I cannot get away from 3-7. We have brown and yellow. Interesting energies. And then King of Pentacles with deceit, both in the reverse. Hanged Man, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, death and rebirth, and the King of Swords. So it's really interesting energy that you have been waiting for something to kind of get unstuck, it feels like. And I think part of this, since this like little pig has wings, is that you may feel like this is never going to happen. But what it looks like has been going on is that within you, there has been this shift taking place. It's like you're not lying to yourself anymore about what makes you feel really happy and what is your kind of blue sky scenario, your dream life. I think there's been some revision here of what it is that it would take to make you live this life that you maybe thought was very far off, but isn't so far off. In fact, it's a lot closer than you think it is. And I think some of you might have 2 people, or you may have 2 people in mind, but there's a clear winner here in terms of who's going to match up with your energy. And it may be the one that is more mentally exciting to you, or more mentally stimulating, more optimistic, more... I even get this very interesting energy that though this person either coming or on the like periphery of your life, it's like, though they are more optimistic, they're also more honest about their shadow sides, their darker aspects, and they're willing to kind of match your work on them. I feel like there has been someone here who maybe you were tied to or idealizing, that maybe they tempted you in a certain way. And I feel like you're just coming into this time where you don't need someone else to fulfill you or fulfill your dreams, or like you're fulfilling your own dreams. And so you just want someone who gives you this really nice reciprocated energy. Like, I'm not doing a very good job of describing this, but it's like there's no seriousness, but at the same time, it's all very real, because you're going to be in each other's lives just because you want to be in each other's lives, not because you're tied to them or you have to be, or there's something keeping you together. It's just like this, it's very like free energy, which I really like. Even the pig is just symbolizing, you can just go if you want. There's really nothing keeping you tied except the idea that you're tied to this situation. And I think you would have just decided right now that you really want to be loved for who you are. and not have to play this role to get love and to get like attention and to perform. Like there's a much more real feeling here, which I really like. So I also see that there's a lot of abundance for you right now, a lot. Pigs are very auspicious, and the 9 and 10 of Pentacles is about as auspicious as it gets. Okay, pile 2, the Otter Spirit. You are never alone. Violet Flame, Master Alchemist, Violet Flame activation, 5/5. Clearing Karma, Kundalini activation, 6/6. Beige, Ruby. Interesting. So we have the Queen of Cups and Anxiety. Very different from the last one. 7 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. But, you know, we had 2 kings and now we have 2 queens. Oh, wow, 9 of Cups. So this one is much more emotional here, though we do still have the swords. It's interesting because I did want to reference the Hierophant in the last reading, and here we have it. So I think this is a process right now of you taking time to plant seeds. There's quite a stillness and quiet in this pile, as you will notice that the only tarot card that's upright is the 7 of Pentacles, which is very much a card of, what do I want to grow for my future? What do I want to grow more of? What am I going to put my attention, energy, focus, and possibly money onto so I get more of that? And it seems to me right now there's a bit of an opportunity for you. So in alchemy, you know, you need something to burn, you know, to go through the process. And I'm not an alchemist per se, but this is an analogy of taking old wounds and old pain, especially emotional wounding and pain, which there seems to be quite a bit of here, and realizing that that pain is your treasure. You know, you have this treasure chest here, and you literally have like Jacob's ladder, which is like a tree, and deciding not to be in a victim mentality, but in the mentality of a master alchemist, in the mentality of me clearing this debris, alchemizing it into love. This helps everyone, not just me. When I do the work, everyone benefits. And I know it doesn't feel like that sometimes, but that is our part of the collective if we want to do it. And they're saying here, you know, be gentle with yourself. Your heart may have been very mishandled. You may have had a monetary loss or a loss of a love or some other kind of loss here where it feels like you have been like singled out. You have been the focus of some kind of negative karma. And I think a lot of us that would call ourselves spiritually, you know, chosen or on the spiritual journey feel that way at times. And really it is our greatest gift because we can alchemize, especially a very, you know, the further down the wound goes. The further you go into the darkness, the higher you can go into the light. And of course, that's sort of a metaphor, but the feeling that you will survive a very big betrayal, it makes you so able to realize you have the capacity to reach very high heights, and you also have the capacity to help others out of the darkness. Though we usually have to go through our dark night alone, you know, there's no real dark nights cards here per se. There's no tower. We don't, you know. I see that there was a lot of hope here, a lot of beliefs that were shattered. And it makes me feel that they were shattered at the hands of, I think, 2 other people. Could be more, could be less, but that's what I'm seeing in the cards. And there's a feeling here that they targeted you. And in a way, it feels like they almost, this one person or these multiple people, they almost kind of brought your fears to life to show them to you. And I really know how very disturbing something like that can be. But having lived through like multiple things like what I'm describing in multiple different ways, I truly feel it's a gift to help you with your abandonment wounds, to help you understand like how very, very strong you actually are. I know you do not feel strong at times when there are really difficult events. In fact, it may be the time you feel most alone and most, you know, defenseless. But I do see here that this had purpose and it has a reason, and it's very interesting. I really want to take the next cards. Yeah, see, I felt multiple people around. I feel like there is multiple influences around this situation. I don't know why I'm getting so strongly called to talk about it like this, because this was really just like a forecast of what's going to happen. And I am hoping that the card would give me an answer. It's a knot. And what it is actually giving me is you may have to exhaust all of the options available to you. You may have to learn the art of discernment through choosing, you know, what we would call mistakes, but they're really understanding life, you know, they're learning. Or you may feel quite confused at certain things. Now, this is such interesting energy. There's going to come this time here in your future where it seems like either, I don't know why they're giving it to me like this. The choice is going to be somewhat confusing, or there's going to feel like there's no choice, but there really is a choice. You don't need to repeat any kind of pattern here. And there's something about you don't need to stay loyal to the idea of a family that never was loyal to you. So I'm not telling you how to be with your family. This is for you to think about and you to do what you feel is right in your heart. But they want you to look at what the idea of loyalty actually means to you and who you learned it from, what it feels like to you, and how you actually would like it to feel. And do you want to continue in relationships that don't give you the feeling you actually want? Because if you have this history of, this is about choosing yourself and how abundance and everything flows from choosing yourself and alchemizing these dark feelings, these dark experiences. And that, whenever the Hierophant reverse comes up for me, it's like, you don't have to stay loyal to the system that never served you, whatever that is. And when we choose ourselves, we choose loyalty to ourselves. We choose to never abandon ourselves. And so much flows from that. There'll be so much that flows from that. I feel here there will be such a relief for you, and you'll receive these flowers that it's not like you're doing it for that, but there will be this reward of, wow, I did that for me. I did that. And it feels really good. And it's not like something you're trying to do, but you're going to understand a lesson that will pay you tenfold here. In this, what I think this is Pluto going direct, so it will last until February, where you may be processing this. It may even be till May, because May is really standing out here for me. But you want to really think right now, what do I want to invest my time in? What do I want to invest my energy in? Is it more of the same? Is it more of worrying about people who don't worry about me, or worrying about a job that doesn't really care? Or, I'm just asking questions. It doesn't necessarily have to be any of that. It can just be, am I fulfilling my purpose? Am I really aligned with the people and the work and the place and the living that I want to do? And there are many, many options here for you. And they're asking you to think very carefully about what is it that you really, really want. Because you do have this opportunity over the next year or so to bring it into fruition. And it's going to require you to get rid of these negative feelings, thoughts, beliefs that you have about who you are, what you deserve, why bad things happen to you. Because I can see that there's a cyclical pattern here of fear that comes to showing itself. And clearing that karma will be, you'll be aided in doing that when you choose yourself. I do see aid for you. I do see help coming to you. But remember, these types of real ascension has to be not codependent. You have to make the decisions from your own energy. That doesn't mean don't get help. You can get any kind of help you want, but the decision itself needs to be from your own heart and your mind, but really from your heart. And that it is the right thing for you. with all of the knowledge and experience that you have and that others have given you perspective on. Okay, that's it. Bye for now.